The clang of steel beams echoed through the construction site as Ethan tightened his gloves and stepped onto the half-finished frame of a new apartment complex. Dust swirled in the morning air, the smell of wet cement mixing with diesel fumes. The work was brutal. Long days under the sun, muscles sore by night, and a paycheck that never stretched far enough. Ethan liked the honesty of it, putting sweat into something tangible. But what broke him down wasn't the labor. It was the chaos that came with it. Supervisors barking orders, deadlines moved up without warning, a careless co-worker nearly dropping a steel plate that could have crushed him. Even on good days, there was always something. But the worst part came after work. Ethan would climb into his truck, covered in dust, and merge onto the highway just as the world's frustrations collided. Cars swerving without signaling, horns blaring, bumper-to-bumper traffic that turned a 30-minute drive into an hour and a half. By the time he walked through his front door, his nerves were shredded. His girlfriend noticed it. The way he snapped at her over small things, the way he carried the site and the road inside their home. It wasn't who he wanted to be, but he couldn't seem to stop. One night, after a fight that ended with him sitting alone in his truck, Ethan reached over and grabbed a battered paperback his buddy had left behind, wedged in the seat. The cover read, "Meditations, Marcus Aurelius." The name was faintly familiar. He opened to a random page, and his eyes landed on a line that pierced him. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Ethan stared at the words, realizing he'd spent his whole life reacting to bosses, co-workers, traffic, bills, social media. What if this emperor from 2,000 years ago was right? What if strength wasn't about controlling the site, the traffic, or even his girlfriend's moods, but about controlling himself? Ethan turned a few more pages, curious about the man who wrote them. Marcus Aurelius wasn't a quiet philosopher hiding in a library. He was the emperor of Rome, the most powerful man on earth. He ruled from 161 to 180 CE, known as the last of the 5 good emperors, a period of prosperity and good governance. During his time as emperor, Rome was rocked by war after war. The empire fought the Parthians in the east and Germanic tribes in the north. At the same time, a devastating plague swept through, killing millions. Some say 1 out of every 10 people in the empire. Marcus didn't rule from comfort. He wrote much of meditations while on military campaigns, sleeping in tents, surrounded by death and uncertainty. He buried children. He endured sickness. He was betrayed by friends and advisors. And yet, instead of drowning in despair, Marcus turned inward. He built what he called the inner citadel, a fortress of the mind no storm could breach. Meditations wasn't a book for the world. It was a private journal, a set of reminders Marcus wrote to himself, never intending for anyone else to see. Writings about discipline, humility, and the one power no person could take from him, the power to control his own thoughts. If an emperor facing plagues and endless wars could find strength within, Ethan thought, maybe a construction worker on a hectic job site and a traffic-choked freeway could do the same. The next day at work, Ethan tested Marcus's words. When his foreman shouted at him over something petty, he felt his chest tighten, anger rising like it always did. The old Ethan would have cursed under his breath, carried the bitterness all day, and maybe even gone home venting to his girlfriend, leading to a fight. But now he remembered Marcus. The external event is nothing. The judgment you place on it is everything. He asked himself, what if this yelling is just noise? What if it doesn't deserve my peace? The anger didn't vanish, but it loosened. Ethan finished his task, calmer than he expected. Later, when a co-worker swung a steel beam too close and nearly clipped him, adrenaline shot through his veins, his fists clenched. He wanted to explode, but he caught himself gripping the cold steel, breathing in the dust-filled air. Do I want this man's mistake to own me? Or do I want to own myself? That evening, traffic tested him again. Someone cut him off at an exit, and his hand shot toward the horn. But then he laughed. For once, he realized the chaos around him didn't have to dictate the chaos within him. It wasn't perfect. The anger still came, but it no longer ruled him. Marcus called this the practice, building the Citadel one thought at a time. Ethan started to realize Marcus Aurelius hadn't just written lofty words. He'd trained his mind like a soldier. And so Ethan began training his own. Every morning, before stepping onto the job site, he sat in his truck. The seat creaked under his weight, the sounds of equipment lingering in the distance. He turned off the radio, closed his eyes, and repeated one sentence from Meditations. You have power over your mind, not outside events. At first, the silence felt uncomfortable. His brain itched to run through the day's problems, the foreman's nagging, the impossible deadlines, the bills stacked on his counter. But he caught those thoughts like sparks before they became fires. Not mine, he'd whisper. Not mine to control. Then, on the job, he started noticing the difference. When rain turned the site into a swamp and everyone cursed their luck, Ethan paused. He pressed his boot into the mud, felt the resistance and thought, this is not good or bad. It just is. My judgment decides the rest. He grabbed his shovel and worked steadily, while others wasted energy grumbling. When a co-worker dropped a wrench dangerously close to his head, adrenaline flared. The old Ethan would have exploded. But now he remembered Marcus's line. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. He took a breath, picked up the wrench, and handed it back without a word. The more he practiced, the stronger he felt. Not because the world got easier, it didn't, but because he was no longer chained to it. Even his girlfriend noticed. One night, she looked at him across the dinner table and said, "You don't come home so heavy anymore. It's like you leave it all outside." And that's when Ethan realized this citadel Marcus spoke of wasn't a metaphor. It was real. A fortress you could build thought by thought, brick by brick. It was portable, invisible armor. And once you built it, no foreman, no traffic jam, no careless mistake could breach it. Marcus Aurelius endured wars, plagues, and betrayal, yet his daily reminder was simple. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment. Ethan finally understood. Strength wasn't about bending the world to your will. It wasn't gritting your teeth through chaos. Real strength was self-mastery. But how do you build it? Marcus left us clues, and Ethan turned them into practice. Here are the same steps you can follow. Step 1. Citadel start. Before the day pulls you in, sit in silence for 5 minutes. Repeat Marcus's line. You have power over your mind, not outside events. This is armor you put on before battle. Step 2. Catch, don't kill. Notice the instant anger, fear, or frustration rises. Don't try to kill it, just label it. This is my judgment, not the event itself. Even naming it weakens its grip. Step 3. Reframe, regain. Pick a line from Meditations and use it like a tool. When someone wrongs you, remember, the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. When life feels unfair, what stands in the way becomes the way. Step 4. right to reflection. Before sleep, ask yourself, what controlled me today? And what did I control? Write it down. Marcus did this every night in his journal. It was his training log for the soul. Ethan found that the more he practiced, the lighter he walked through the world. His girlfriend wasn't just seeing a calmer man, she was seeing a freer one. And that's the hidden paradigm Marcus offers us. You cannot stop storms from coming, but you can build a citadel that no storm can shake. So tomorrow, before you merge into traffic, step onto a job site, or into an office, ask yourself, who owns your mind today? The chaos outside, or you inside your citadel? Because whether you're emperor of Rome or a construction worker stuck in rush hour, the truth is the same. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength